Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the SPY, and as you can see, we closed at 620.34. Looks like we found, I always say my eye immediately goes to the gathering spot, right? So we bounced from this level here of 619.75 only to come back up to this, around this area to get rejected. Let's say it's around the 621.68. So where are the trouble places as of right now? We would need to get back above again the 621.68. We could very well have trouble again around the 621.88. I'm looking here at the body of these candles here. 621.88. If we should break that level, 622.13 could be a trouble place, and breaking that could bring us back to around 622.53. Breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble again around 622.85, again at 623.03. And if we should break that level, 623.25, breaking that brings us back to around the 623.50. If we break that 623.50 area, we could possibly have trouble again at 623.95. Now, breaking that 623.95, we could have trouble again here at 624.04. And breaking that, we see here the next level I have marked is 624.90. Now, back to the downside, let's say, for instance, we get back under this 5 EMA, excuse me, we could possibly have trouble here, let's say, around the 621.30. If we break that area, 621.14, and breaking that brings us back to around 620.84, breaking that level 620.66, again at 620.46, 620.29. So that is a few layers of support for the SPY as of now. Y'all see the 200 EMA is around that 620.19. So we got some around that 620-ish area. There's a few layers of support. However, breaking that 620.19, I have the next level here of 619.95, and the ATR trailing stop, which is not far from that at the 619.87. I like to see that. So in my opinion, that's going to be a strong support area. Breaking that brings us back to around the 619.75, and again here at 619.51. But as we see here from the 619.51 down to, let's say, the 618.86, there's a few layers of support there. Now, the SPY is an inside day candle, and what I like to say with those is, if it break beyond this level, then this is the possible target for today. If it should break above the 622.13 to the upside, we have an upside target today for the SPY around the 624.04. Now, to the downside, under the 619.51, we could very well come back down to reach the target. Let's see where that is. Around the 617.50, 617.90. So if the SPY should break the 619.51, the target is 617.90. So if you're trading the SPY today, it is an inside day candle. Those are possible areas of support and resistance. And y'all know I say it often, in this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at Tesla. And I say so often, y'all, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 297.81. We pre-market, it looks like we've been having trouble here at resistance at the 299.75. Support is somewhere around the 298.50. So this is the zone that we are trading in as of now. So back to the upside, again, we need to get back above the 299.75. We could very well have trouble again, $300.22. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble somewhere around the $300.71, and breaking that 301.12. Should we break that 301.12, we could very well have trouble 301.75, and breaking that level 302.30. Should we break the 302.30, I have 302.55 as of now, which is the 200 EMA. We can use that as a rejection area, resistance place. Now, breaking that 302.79 and breaking that level 303.29. So there's a few layers here from the 302.30 to the 303.29. Breaking at 303.29, it looks like the next level I have marked is at 304.29. Yeah, breaking that brings us back to around the 304.94 and 305.54. So if you are trading Tesla to the upside, those are possible areas of rejection. Now let's look to the downside. Let's say we break under the 298.50. We could very well find support somewhere around the 297.90 and breaking that level 297.59. Should we break that 296.88, and y'all see that ATR trailing stop is at 296.79. In my opinion, this is going to be a strong support area for us. And if we look over to the left here, we see that that was a gathering spot or a consolidation area here. So should we break this level of 296.79, we could very well come back to around the 296.03 and breaking that 294.95. There's a few layers of support there down to the the 294.74. So let's say under the 294.74, we could very well come back to 293.50, breaking that 293.50, 292.72, and again 291.83. So if you are trading Tesla today to the upside and to the downside, trade carefully, not financial advice. So let's go and see where we are with AMD today. We closed at 137.82. Looks like we're getting rejected here at this 138.78. Support could be around this 138.60. Trading in this zone as of right now. So where the trouble places, again, it would need to break back above the 138.78. Breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble again, 139.11. Breaking that 139.11, we could possibly have trouble again around the 139.54. And again here at, let's see, 139.97. Breaking that 139.97, we could possibly find trouble or resistance around the 140.52. Breaking that 140.52 for AMD today, 141.03. Those are possible areas of rejection, resistance areas. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under this 138.60 area. We could very well come back to around the 138.28. I'm going to mark that. It may be the 138. Okay. I'm going to mark this area here only because it's kind of filling in a space. Okay. So breaking this level here of 138.60, we could very well come back to around the 138.38 and breaking that level 138.14. Breaking that 138.14, we have the 50 EMA, 200 EMA, ATR trailing stop, and a level here marked around the 137.70. So breaking this level of 137.70, in my opinion, for AMD today could be strong support that it has broken through. So breaking that, we could very well come back to 137.23 and again here at 136.83, 136.58. Breaking that level 136.13, and if we should break that, the next level 135.85. So if you are trading AMD today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. And y'all, I say it too often, anything is possible in this market. Anything is possible. We are now looking at Meta. We closed at 720.67 and it's been trading in this gathering spot here. It looks as if we've gotten rejected here at this ATR trailing stop. So that is a resistance area for us as of now around the 723.49 area. Now, if we should break that, we could still have trouble here at 723.81. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again 725.46 and breaking that level 726.99. Keep in mind, y'all, anything can stop us out from this level to this level. So I say trade carefully if that is something that you trade. Now, if we should break that 726.99, we could possibly have trouble again around the 727.77 and breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble again 729.14. Breaking the 729.14, we could have trouble 731.07. Breaking that 731.07, we could possibly have trouble again 732.33. So if Meta is something that you trade today, those are possible areas of rejection. Now, back to the downside, let's say we break under this 5 EMA or this 722.93 area, we can come back to around 722.15 and find support. But as we see here, we have a 20 EMA, 50 EMA, 200 EMA, and the ATR trailing stop that could very well hold us upper right there. So I would watch the level of 720.05, breaking that 720.05, which will be the bottom of this little zone or the gathering spot here. We could very well come back to around, let's say, the 719.27, and then at the 718.63, breaking that 718.63, we can come back to around 717.04 and breaking that 715.58, and again at 714.77, breaking that brings us back to 713.46, 712.86, and 711.27. Now, Meta is an inside day candle, meaning if it should break above the 722.93, the upside target today for Meta 726.99. Now to the downside, under the 714.77, we have a downside target today for Meta at 713.46. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels, and once it goes against your Y, get out. So we are looking at NVIDIA. We closed at 160, and it looks as if it's trying to take us a little bit higher today. So NVIDIA pre-market high thus far is 160.73. And the next level that I have marked is 160.99 as a resistance area. So let's look to the downside because it looks like it wants to make new highs today. And not financial advice, trade carefully. So under the 160.64, we could very well come back to this level here. And I need to mark that 160.33 something, kept us from going higher in this area here. So I need to remember that 160.33, breaking that level brings us back to around, I would say, the 160.07 area. So it traded in this zone. So back to the downside, 160.33, 160.07, 159.87, and the ATR trailing stop is forming here. We have the 50 EMA and the line that we have previously marked at the 159.87. So definitely I will keep an eye on that. So breaking that level brings us back to the 159.48. Should we break that level, 159.24, 159.08, 158.97, 158.72, and under that level 158.50, under that 158.32. What's interesting is it looks as if it just wants to make new highs today. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, I say trade carefully, y'all, and pay very close attention. Make sure you have a reason for getting in your trade and not just jumping in the trade. So we do have a few inside day candles, GameStop being one of those, and I like to give the trigger for that, meaning if it break beyond this area, this is our possible target. So for GameStop today, or that's GM is an inside day candle. So if it should break above the 52.89, we have an upside target for GM at 53.28. To the downside, under 51.96, downside target for GM today is 51.41. So GM is an inside day candle. So GameStop, I was getting it right. So GameStop is an inside day candle. Let's say we break above 22.96. Upside target today for GameStop is around the 23.48. Now to the downside, under 22.58, downside target today for GameStop is 22.53. So GM and GameStop is an inside day candle. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. And IWM is an inside day candle above 222.28. That's a lot of twos. Above the 222.28. Upside target is 222.87. Now to the downside for IWM, under 220.32, downside target is 218.34. So if IWM is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Marvell, MRVL, is an inside day candle. Let's say above 73.47. We have an upside target of 74.81. Now to the downside, under 71.79, downside target 71.47 for Marvell or MRVL. QQQ is an inside day candle for today. Above 554.02, we have an upside target today for 554.35. Now to the downside, under the 551.10, we have a downside target of 549.56. So QQQ is an inside day candle today. SQQQ is also an inside day candle above 1968, upside target 1981. To the downside, under 1937, we have a downside target for SQQQ today for 1931. So if SQQQ and QQQ is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. UAL or United Airlines is also an inside day candle for today above 83.50, upside target 83.93. Now to the downside, under $80.92, downside target $80.07. So UAL or United Airlines is an inside day candle. So Zoom is an inside day candle for today above 78.50. We have an upside target of 78.83. To the downside, under 77.01, downside target 76.82. So if ZM or Zoom is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. So I'm going to go back to Tesla just to see where we are. Looks like we're finding some support here at this 298.50, an area we kind of knew we possibly could have support, right? So if you're trading Tesla today, trade carefully. Let's see where the SPY seems like it wants to break through that trigger. Again, it is an inside day candle today. So y'all, this is what I see when I look at the market. I say so often, there's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging at times is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you, and then for us to have the discipline to execute that plan. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.